à tous. My name is Christopher Seguin. I am the Manager of Media Relations with the Canadian Hockey League, La Ligue Canadienne de Hockey. It's a pleasure to welcome you all here today as we officially celebrate the Guelph Storm being awarded the 2027 Memorial Cup presented by Kubota. La Coupe Memorial présentée par Kubota. We're thrilled to be here in the Royal City to recognize this major milestone for the Storm organization, the City of Guelph, and of course the many partners and fans who help make events like this possible. C'est vraiment un moment important pour la communauté de Guelph et pour la LCH au complet. Here's how today's press conference will run. Voici le déroulement de notre conférence de presse d'aujourd'hui. We'll begin with opening remarks from some of our speakers. After that, we'll open the floor to questions from media. We'll then bring our speakers together at the front for a photo opportunity in front of the Memorial Cup trophy. And finally, we'll make some time for one-on-one interview requests. During the Q&A portion, we'll have staff on hand to bring you a microphone to you if you have a question. We just ask that before asking it, you identify yourself and the outlet and organization that you work for. If at any point after the formal portion you want to set up a one-on-one, please come see me, and I'll be happy to coordinate that for you. To get us started, I'd like to invite Dan McKenzie, President of the Canadian Hockey League, le Président de la LCH, to say a few words about today's announcement and what it means to have the Memorial Cup returning to Guelph in 2027.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. On behalf of the Canadian Hockey League, I want to formally congratulate the Guelph Storm as the host of the 2027 Memorial Cup presented by Kubota. Having a Memorial Cup here the same year as Guelph marks its 200th birthday makes this a special moment for the league, for the Storm, and for the Royal City. I want to recognize Mayor Cam Guthrie for being here. I want to recognize OHL Commissioner Brian Crawford, Guelph Storm owners Joel Feldberg, Jeffrey Bly, and Scott Walker, Storm hockey staff and players, led by George Burnett, General Manager, and Head Coach Corey Stillman, as well as their business staff, led by Matt Newby. And Matt, congratulations. I know you had a lot to do with us being here today. I also want to take a minute and acknowledge the Kitchener Rangers for an excellent bid and for the professionalism and class they've shown throughout this process. The competition to host this event was extremely close, and we're grateful for the time and effort that Kitchener invested and for the way they represented their community throughout the bid process. So please give a hand for Kitchener. Now, given that I'm a Guelph resident, I think it's important to outline how the host for this event is chosen. The decision to award the 2027 Memorial Cup was made by an independent site selection committee operating at arm's length from the CHL. Our role is to set the framework, and the committee's role is to evaluate the bids, attend the bid presentations, and make the final decision. On behalf of the CHL, I want to thank the members of that committee for the 2027 Memorial Cup. Annie Rummel from Go Great Lakes Bay, Colin Campbell from the National Hockey League, Sean Redmond from TSN, Aaron Franzen from Stikeman Elliott, and Dean McIntosh from Hockey Canada for their commitment to this process. I was told by the committee that they were very impressed with the Storm's plan to host this event in a true downtown venue, steps from the heart of the city, with nearby shops and public spaces that lend themselves to a walkable, festival-style atmosphere. On the hockey side, they heard a detailed plan on how they will ice a championship caliber team in a world of changing junior hockey dynamics. They also talked about the sincerity they felt from Guelph, and that their bid, quite frankly, had a lot of heart. The Memorial Cup is one of the most meaningful trophies in our sport. Established in 1919 and later rededicated to honor all the fallen members of the Canadian Armed Forces, it stands as a symbol of sacrifice, and it's fitting that it will be hosted in the hometown of Colonel John McCrae. I also want to recognize Kubota Canada, and especially Steve Sweetenham, who's here today. Although Kelowna is going to be your first Memorial Cup, as presenting partner, we know that Guelph is going to be an unforgettable one. Thank you for your commitment to this event and to the Canadian Hockey League as a whole over all these years. We appreciate it. To the Storm organization, congratulations on an outstanding bid and on being selected for the 2027 as the 2027 host. To the fans in the City of Guelph, thank you for being one of the best fan bases in the CHL. We can't wait to see this building filled with fans from all over the world, to watch 4 great teams compete for the hardest trophy to win in amateur sports, and to celebrate the 200-year story of this incredible city. We look forward to seeing you all back here for the 2027 Memorial Cup presented by Kubota. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Merci, Dan. Now we'll hear from Brian Crawford, Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, Commissaire de la Ligue de Hockey de l'Ontario. He'll share the CHL's perspective on Guelph's successful bid and the importance of bringing the Memorial Cup back to this market. Brian.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here today in what is obviously a fantastic day for the City of Guelph. From the OHL's perspective, really, this is about celebrating hockey and getting the opportunity to celebrate the national championship here in our league and here in Guelph. This is the pinnacle that our players, the staffs, and our fan bases strive for on a yearly basis. And to have Guelph be able to host this championship for the first time since 2002 and have a chance to win their first as the Guelph Storm here in their hometown is, of course, a really, really special opportunity. I, of course, want to acknowledge the fantastic ownership, the entire staff that have done such a great job with this franchise. Matt Newby has obviously been identified already, who has done such great work here to make this fan and game day experience second to none. And being able to bring that to the Memorial Cup and really show what it's all about to be a team here in the OHL and what the game day experience is about here in the OHL is a really, really special opportunity for us as a league, and one that we're really appreciative that Guelph gets to be the lead horse in this coming year for hosting the Memorial Cup. As great as it is of an opportunity for our players and the staff and everybody that's involved with the team, it's of course about the community, right? Our job as leaders is to provide an opportunity for young people to grow and develop and achieve their goals and aspirations, but it's also about supporting the communities that we are in. And our teams are amongst the most important things in their communities for their ability to bring people together, to represent what it means to be from Guelph or from Peterborough or from Oshawa or Owen Sound or any one of the great communities across the entire CHL. And Guelph, really very few exemplify that better than Guelph. And so for the people of the community, the fans of the Storm, we thank you for being such great fans and stepping up to be part of making this a perfect place to choose to host this great championship. And so with that being said, I want to wish everybody the best of luck over the next year and a half as we prepare to bring the best of the CHL here to Guelph and put on the best show that this championship has ever had. Thanks again, and thank you very much to the mayor and to our partners and everyone else who really makes this event possible on a year-to-year basis.
Of course, an event of this magnitude is impossible without strong support from the city itself. And I'd like to now welcome Cam Guthrie, Mayor of Guelph, Le Maire de Guelph, to share a few remarks on what hosting the Memorial Cup means to the community, especially as Guelph approaches its bicentennial in 2027.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I just want to recognize a few people in the room because often, the politicians are the face of, the city or the community. But right off the bat, I just really want to thank our staff from the City of Guelph. The amount of work that they pulled together to do this does not go unnoticed. And I'd actually really appreciate everyone giving our staff a huge round of applause for what they did. So, beyond that, too, this from an elected official point of view, I want to just thank also Mike Schreiner, our MPP, and our MP Dominique O'Rourke, who also really came together to pitch and give that authenticity to what our city is about. So the collaboration that we had across all levels of government does also not go unnoticed. Thanks for being here today. That's awesome. Sorry there isn't room for you up here, but thank you very much. Yeah. It's already been mentioned a few times, but our community is really second to none. Those fans are phenomenal here. And what I said during the pitch when the committee was here, I really truly meant there's the very young and there's the old, and in our community, in that generational sort of, there's no generational gap when it comes to the Guelph Storm. And it's really all encompassing within our community. And so the chance to hold this event here in 2027 is an unbelievable opportunity. Coinciding with our bicentennial of a 200-year birthday is going to be amazing. And I already know our staff and others in the community are already reaching out. They're like, how can we help? How can we do things? How can we have some really great events leading up to the Memorial Cup? To really celebrate everything all together is going to be one heck of a birthday bash. So I really appreciate that too. Behind the scenes too, Matt, I just want to say thank you to you, to Lynn, to Sarah, all these sort of other admin behind and the sales and marketing for the Guelph Storm. You have really grasped the community, and I think you probably led a lot of this decision making to really getting our community involved. So I just again want to thank you. Our council is united around this as well. We are giving financially towards this event, and we'll probably be looking at other ways to make sure that we can make it a once-in-a-lifetime event for everyone to remember. So thank you so much for picking Guelph. We're ready for it, and I'm really looking forward to everything we can do to make it really a memorable experience for the Memorial Cup. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Merci, Monsieur le Maire. I'm also proud to be joined today, as Dan mentioned, by Steve Sweetnam, who's the Marketing Director for Kubota Canada, the official presenting partner of the Memorial Cup, le partenaire présenteur officiel de la Coupe Montréal. Kubota has played a key role in supporting CHL and its member leagues over the years, and we're excited to continue that partnership here in Guelph. Steve.
That's great. I just want to take the opportunity to thank Dan McKenzie and Scott Walker, Brian Crawford, and Mayor Cam Guthrie for asking us to join today. So it's really a great privilege. And on behalf of Kubota Canada, we're really pleased to be here with our partners at the CHL as we announce Guelph as the host city for the 2027 Memorial Cup. This is really a special milestone, and as Mayor Guthrie just mentioned, it's not only just for hockey here, but it's also for the entire community as you celebrate the 200th anniversary in Guelph. The Memorial Cup is more than a championship. It's a gathering that celebrates a shared love for hockey, which is incredibly important, the deep roots of the communities, and also the Canadian spirit that brings us all together. At Kubota, our foundation of our business is really about local community involvement, and our dealers are located in various areas throughout Canada, small towns and cities nationwide. This gives us a unique insight into how strong communities can be interconnected and can thrive when everyone works together. Sport, especially hockey, helps to build these connections, and both family and communities, when they get together, play a vital role in the achievements of players and teams, both at home and on the rink. As the official presenting partner, we're really proud to join with the CHL in supporting youth development and helping to create unforgettable experiences for fans, players, and families. We're excited to work with the CHL, the City of Guelph, and the Guelph Storm to make the 2027 Memorial Cup a memorable celebration for everyone right here in the Royal City and across Canada. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Merci, Steve. Finally, I'd like to invite, representing the host organization, call upon Scott Walker, partner and president of hockey operations for the Guelph Storm, to deliver some short remarks.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Just I wanted to say on behalf of myself, Joel Feldberg, and Jeff Bly, I'm the minority owner. They're the big owners. But on their behalf, I want to tell you that we're really excited, and we will do everything we can to help and make sure this is a great event. And hopefully everybody gets to see what we see and believe in Guelph. It's been a great partnership between every facet of the government and our team. We've worked smoothly. This actually, Guelph embodies what junior hockey is all about. It's a community team. Times you're good, times you're not so good. The fans show up, they support. We try to put on a good show in the arena, whether the team's winning or not winning. Hopefully we're winning more. But the point is this is what the Guelph is all about. It's about supporting the junior hockey. We're a big community team, the schooling, everybody in the community. We had like our sponsorship, everybody has reached out. So I just want on my behalf, I know Matt has done a great job, our whole staff, Mal, Sarah, I see you all. Our staff is exactly what a junior hockey staff is. They do everything. I always say we have a small staff and they do everything. Like they're here on Friday nights and Sunday afternoons and games, and they're here Monday to Friday. It's just such a pleasure to be around them and be here. And obviously, I've been working with George for 9 years, and I've known him pretty much my whole life and hockey life. And I couldn't be happier to have a guy like that leading us behind the scenes, making sure our hockey operations is really smooth, because there's a lot more that goes into it than just on the ice product. There's billeting, there's schooling, there's relationship building, and he's done a world-class job for us in that fact. And I also obviously want to thank all our supporting partners from the CHL and the OHL, and our mayor, obviously, and our sponsor from Kubota. So we are really excited and can't wait to show the world and definitely Canada what Guelph has to offer.
Thank you, Scott. At this time, we're going to open the floor to questions from the media. Nous allons maintenant passer à la période de questions. Just a quick reminder, if you have a question, please raise your hand. One of our staff, Josh, will have a wireless mic that we can bring to you. Before asking your question, again, I just remind you, please state your name and the outlet you're representing. And with that, also just ensure you specifically direct your question to a specific speaker, because we have a couple mics up front here, but want to make sure it gets to the right person. And with that, I'd like to open it for questions up front.
Thank you. Tony Saxon with Guelph Today. It's a question for Dan. Dan, just as a conduit to the selection committee, they came up, they visited, you go over the numbers, you go over the hockey plans. What did Guelph do to sort of drive it home that this was going to be a special event for Guelph? And what efforts and what kind of things resonated on that level, beyond the numbers, beyond the dollars and cents?
I think the, and as I mentioned, sort of, I didn't really mention it specifically in my speech, but I recused myself from the process this year, so it was really Carla Keller from the CHL, our director of events, who was, sort of helping the executive. Sorry about that. That's all right. Helping the site selection committee as a background, just in terms of information they needed. My understanding is that Guelph did a really good job of telling an all-encompassing story about how they were going to bring the event to life. I think really leveraging the 200th anniversary of the city. I think they approached the actual site selection tour a little bit uniquely or differently maybe than what a traditional approach might be. That again, it really resonated. I know they moved the selection committee, I believe, around the city and took them to various places where various activities would be occurring to show them, what would happen where. And again, I'd say the feedback that we had received after the fact was that they, thought of every detail. And I think they also, from what I understand, again, really, I think the desire and the sort of the heart word that I mentioned in my opening remarks really came through. And there was a feeling that they were really going to be, a set of, a host committee that was going to really take to heart the meaning of the Memorial Cup and bring it to life in a way that's unique to this community. So, I think they really, again, just showed their desire to be the host in a really strong way.
Thanks, Josh Piercy, City News, 570 News Radio, Kitchener. My question is for Brian. As a representative of the OHL, how do you feel Guelph is poising itself to host this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about it during the address. From a operations perspective, a business operations perspective, they're best in class. The show that they put on night in and night out, the support that the community, I think, I'm not sure who mentioned it earlier, but the support from the community is as strong as it gets in our league, right? And a year that was a down year, perhaps on the ice in the win-loss column, wasn't reflected in the stands, right? And that's a huge, that's a huge compliment to the passion and the connection that the community and the fans have to to the team. So, that sort of support for junior hockey, of course, is incredible, right? We want that to obviously perpetuate the Memorial Cup and be completely part of it, so that there's not a seat in the house to watch the best teams in the league play next year. So that's kind of the first part of it. As a team on the ice, we've got one of the most experienced managers that we have in our league in George Burnett, and his ability to put a team together that will have the chance to finally get that first win after coming close on a few occasions. I think was a big part for the selection committee. As I said, it's not a committee that I'm involved in or have any role in, but certainly got kind of post reports, and they feel obviously very strongly about his ability and the staff's ability to ice a team that has a chance to win it, right? And that's an important part, right? This is a big compliment to get the tournament, and to be given a spot in it isn't taken lightly. We want to make sure that team has every chance to win the tournament, as the other teams that win their way in through winning their respective league championships. So, I would imagine that they're going to be doing everything they can over the next year and a half to hoist the championship at home, just like Saginaw did a few years ago.
Joe McGinty with the Waterloo Regional Record. I'm just wondering, this is probably for the CHL, can you kind of explain a little bit about Kitchener's bid and what really was the difference maker for Guelph?
Sure. I mean, again, this might be a better directed one to Carla, given that I didn't sit through the bid presentations. But again, I think what I would say is that, I mean, Kitchener, if you know that organization, it's first class all the way. From Joe Birch, they had Steve Biankowski, their former CEO, heavily involved in it. They're top notch, and I think that the way I would probably describe it is I had a comment from one of the site selection members who's been involved in multiple of these, and he said, Dan, this was by far the toughest decision we had to make. There was no bad choice. I mean, Kitchener is as everything that Brian just said about the Guelph organization, he could have substituted Kitchener in. They are lots of history, great building, great organization, fill the building no matter what. They're a top-notch organization, and I don't think it was so much that Kitchener lost it, or did anything to lose. It was more that Guelph did more to win than anything.
That's really why this process is so hard. Like, put all 20 teams in a hat and pick one out. Like, that's how strong the quality certainly in our league is when it comes to the types of teams that could host this event. Of course, from a year-to-year basis, there's differences, and that's like, it's in the margins, right? It's in the edges of where the differences are made. We have other teams apply to be in the running to host that didn't make it to this stage, that could have been great choices as well, and in past years has been the same. So. That's what's special about it, and ultimately that's what we're aiming to do. We raise the competition level amongst all of our teams so that the floor is as high as the ceiling ever was, right?
Any other questions? Not seeing any. All right, well, thank you to all of our media members and guests for joining us today and for your continued coverage of the CHL, the OHL, and the Guelph Storm. Merci encore pour votre présence et pour votre couverture continue de la LCH, de la OHL, et du Storm de Guelph. Before we move into the group photo that will wrap up today's press conference, just a quick reminder for any media looking to arrange one-on-one interviews with our speakers, please just ensure you come reach out to me. I'll be happy to coordinate that. And we look so very forward, as all these speakers have said, to being back here in Guelph in 2027, and plaisir de vous revoir ici à Guelph en 2027. And at this time, I invite Dan, Brian, Scott, Cam, and Steve to come down and to take a photo with the Memorial Cup, and then we'll get to one-on-ones. Thank you, everyone.